Hello. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. Happy Monday, or whatever day it is that you're seeing this. I want to read to you from book club we were doing, page 200, which is comparing yourself to others. And it says comparing yourself to others never fills the void. So there's this void that some of us have when we have inadequacy issues, and we will try to compare ourselves with others to make ourselves feel better, or to give us ideas on how to um, make ourselves into something that maybe we're not. And it says, to what or to whom do you compare yourself to in order to shape your sense of self? So think about that. Where do you get your sense of self from? What shapes your sense of self? And who are you comparing yourself to in order to make that happen? And take a moment and think when it comes to culture, when it comes to church, when it comes to social interaction, your family, every scenario that we go into will have a tendency to compare ourselves to people. And the challenge is, can we compare ourselves? This is the question. Can we compare ourselves to the self that God created you to be? So are you being true to yourself? Are you being authentic to yourself? And allowing that self that God made uniquely to come out in all of these different scenarios. And so I was in two different groups this morning. We are talking about the men's group and the women's group, and how it's not a defensiveness of, oh, I am who I am and you need to like me, and so that's just too bad. But it's, can I be who I am in the midst of pressures to be somebody who God has not called you to be? And that's a really big issue in Christian leadership. There's that pressure of, I've been given an opportunity to do this thing, so therefore I should lean into it and become this person, and it's not necessarily who God has called me to be. And you can do a job. There's nothing wrong with taking a position and seeing that this is a position that I'm fulfilling in the moment, but it is not who I am. And being able to differentiate between those two things is extremely valuable. I am not my position. And this is where when people retire, they have a really big challenge, because they're so identified with their position that they don't know who they are once they retire, because they're not being told who they are. They're not told what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what to think, how to prepare. And being able to say, can I differentiate between my position and who I am? And do you know he created you to be unique on purpose? So you will be able to impact the world in a way like nobody else if you are true to the you that he has called you to be, and to do what he has called you to do specifically. Then your light will go out into the world, and you will attract those people that are attracted to your unique light, right? And being able to own that for yourself and say, I have a unique light. And this isn't like I have a unique light and I just, it's not this aggressive thing. It's being able to just be okay with who you are, and knowing that I have this light and I'm going to go out into the world and shine it in places where those people who are attracted to my unique light can find it. And if we're not owning who we are in that uniqueness, then those people actually miss out. But I wanted you to know that he is delighted in how you see the world, your uniqueness. You see the world differently, your light shines differently, and he is delighted in that. And I made note of the fact that even identical twins have very different personalities. Now, they might have a lot of the similar likes and this sort of thing, but they are different people. They are not one and the same. So they are unique. And I remember telling the story about the day that God made you, that story about the day that God made you, made yourselves, to a set of identical twins, because most of the community saw them as one, and they had a hard time differentiating between the two of them. And they needed to know that God saw them as unique and valuable because of who they are as unique individuals. So find out how to be the you that God intended you to be. It will give you peace that nothing else can. And so the questions that were attached to this on page 201 say, what scriptures do you use to help guide you in being true to the person God created you to be? So I want you to put these in the comments, because the different passages will help other people. What scriptures do you use to help guide you in being true to the person God created you to be? So I wrote down all the different verses that the guys shared, and then the gals shared. And I want you to think, what is a verse that you know that you can remind yourself of the value of being unique to God. So put it in the comments. I look forward to reading them. Take care.